What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and smiles all round in the Tottenham campus. Tottenham battered Norwich 5-0 in the final game of the season to seal Champions League qualification.
Come on.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely. Scenes yesterday at Carrow Road. And I think, I came into the game quite nervous during the week, but when we woke up on the day, Sim, it was your birthday. I mean, what better birthday present you can get? And it was just like,
what a birthday.
I woke up and when we were in Norwich, the sun was shining. I was feeling relaxed, and I didn't think there was going to be anything but a Spurs battering yesterday. And it felt like that from the beginning, and it was just good vibes all round. Yeah, the first 5-10 minutes of the game were a bit nervy, but once we got that goal, it was just one-way traffic, wasn't it?
Yeah, we seemed very, very like the experienced team, the calm head that we have been in recent weeks. And I think it's been the polar opposite across North London. I think we went into the game yesterday, as much as the fan base was panicking and getting worried about Tottenham doing a Spursy, I think the players were the opposite. I think they were confident in themselves. They trust the manager. They trust themselves to get the job done. And we knew what we were up against, and we didn't get fazed by what the situation was. We needed 1 point, and we didn't go there to make sure we kept a clean sheet. We went there to make sure we absolutely won the game. And I think we got the job done with minimum fuss, and it was a brilliant day in the end. There was some great goals scored. Brilliant day for Son as well. Brilliant day for the fans. And a great birthday for me. I couldn't have wished for anything better, honestly.
Exactly. To qualify for the Champions League. For the Champions League on your birthday is absolutely sensational stuff. But let's talk about the actual game, because I think, like I said, I think the first 5-10 minutes, it did look a little bit nervy. Nothing over the top or anything like that. But we were still getting our chances. Norwich pretty much had like one shot on goal that went wide pretty much the whole game, and it was just complete one-way traffic. Bentancur, I thought, was brilliant with 2 assists. Kulusevski was a thorn in their side for pretty much all game. And kind of after we got that second goal, it all just came about getting Sonny that golden boot. That's what it became.
Yeah, it became literally mission gets on the golden boot, and that's how it turned out. Obviously, yeah, look, first half, I think, look, we were always on top. I think Norwich had a few moments, but nothing really. I don't remember any shots on goal. The one shot they had, Dyer gave them a chance, didn't he? And they hit it wide. I think that was at 1-0 anyway.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much their only opportunity of the game. It did seem pretty much from the off, it was only going to be a matter of time before we really... till we got a goal. Kane, before we got the first goal, had a few chances as well, forcing Tim Krul into a save, and having a few block shots, and had a header, I think. So we were looking on it from the off, I felt, in terms of chances. And then, look, it was only after 16 minutes that we took the lead. It was very, very early on.
It felt like a lot longer than that.
It did, yeah. It felt like, yeah, well, look back, that was 16 minutes. I thought it was like half an hour in, because it felt like, because we were just so desperate to get the ball rolling. But another brilliant team move. Another Conte, another goal from the Conte playbook. Bentancur running into the space, getting found, definitely onside. And look, he probably should have taken it on himself, but he thought he'd square it to Kulu, and he obviously we got the opening goal. I don't know why, but it's a bit of a trend though in those kind of situations, and to try and lay it off when you can. It's obviously, if you remember that Son chance at City when we got the first goal. He could. Another time he would have scored that, but he laid it off.
Like sweaty FIFA play, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, but I wonder.
Get the goal. That's what's the most important thing. It doesn't matter. The optics of the goal. Square it to the guy who's got the easier chance and more chance to get the goal.
Yeah, I just wonder whether that's an instruction from Conte. Like, if you're in that position, if you fear free man, always pass it or something like that. I don't know. So that was in there. That's interesting.
Very different to the chance a bit later on, though, when Kulusevski rounded the keeper.
Yeah, very different. Very different.
Kulusevski rounds the keeper, and Sonny's there, and Sonny hadn't scored at that time. And everyone's like, square it to Sonny,
yeah, just give him a tap in.
And he had a complete open goal, and then he basically got caught in two minds and ended up tripping up.
Yeah, he got very confused. Obviously, the second goal they completely gave to us. They're playing out of the back. They're sloppy. Tim Krul, who usually has a great game against us, and people were saying, oh, God, not Tim Krul. But he gave us a goal. freebie pretty much, and that pretty much once the second went in, that's pretty much sealed. Obviously, I think Bentancur with the second assist of the game, pinpoint ball into Kane. He had an open goal to aim at, and he headed it into the net. That's 17 league goals now for Harry Kane for the season. Nice assist from Bentancur, who had a good game in the end. And then it was pretty much from then on. Try and get Son that golden boot, and we actually tried as we might at the start, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen for him because Kane laid one on for him across the face of goal that hits Tim Krul pretty much on the goal line. Kulusevski rounds the keeper and tries to lay one off for him, and he ends up screwing that one up, and he underhits the pass or shot, whatever he was trying to do. I'm not 100% sure in the end. I'm not sure he's 100% sure either, and that one gets screwed up. And then Son goes through one-on-one with the keeper, and you're thinking, okay, now's his opportunity. And then he screwed that one up. So you're like, oh my God, is it ever going to happen for him? But luckily, I think literally a couple seconds after that one-on-one, the moment came from Lucas Moura, by the way. No, first of all, I think we went 3-0 up. Kulusevski with a brilliant goal, by the way.
Well, yeah, Kulu scored that goal just after he screwed up going around the keeper.
That's right.
And then, right. He gets the ball just inside the box, cuts in, and he's like, no messing around this time. No messing around this time, and just slots it right into the top corner. And then a few minutes after that, Sonny gets his goal. And then a few minutes after that, he scores that brilliant goal as well.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest chance of the day that he had.
Yeah, definitely by far. But talk about Kulusevski's goal for a sec. Something I'm desperate to see more of him. Something I've been saying consistently, that this guy has a dynamite shot on his left foot into the far corner, and I think this is the first time we've really seen it in action in a Spurs shot. Although it is his 5th goal, we haven't really seen that curler into the far corner yet from Kulu, and hopefully that'll be the first of many, because that was dynamite. That finish
was. And I said it to you at the time. I was like, this is the chance. This is the kind of finish that we've been waiting for since he's come. All those highlights we've seen from in Juventus using that lovely left foot of his, and we saw it on show yesterday, and it was just great to see. And now Kulu came in January, last day of the window. I think it's 5 goals and 8 assists now this season. Brilliant return.
In 18 games, yeah.
Brilliant return.
Unbelievable. What a signing he has been. Absolute revelation. And I can't wait for him to be, start from the off under a pre-season under Conte. It's going to be brilliant. He's used to playing Champions League.
This is the only place I want to be.
Exactly. He said, I'm fully Tottenham. He said, I'm so happy here. He loves the stadium, loves the fans, loves the manager, he loves the group. He seems really, really happy. And maybe he just needed a change of scenery from Juventus. And, Juventus not in a good place right now anyway. So maybe it just wasn't a good place for him. But look, can't wait for more of Kulu next season, when hopefully he goes from strength to strength. But then after that, Kulu got the job done, 3-0. Then it was like, okay, Son's missed all his chances. Let's just try and give everything to Son. And he came off immediately, pretty much after he scored, Kulusevski. Moura came on, and to be fair to him, he was just laying on assist after assist.
Moura was brilliant when he came on.
Sonny.
And that assist, actually, when Sonny scored his first goal, was a brilliant little flick, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did the same for the one-on-one as well.
He did,
2 flicks, literally within a minute of each other.
Did you watch Sonny's interview after the game? That 5-minute one, I think it was from Spurs that they put up.
No.
Oh, it was brilliant. He was saying that that everyone was going on saying to him on the pitch, like when he was missing these chances, come on, Sonny, you can do it. Like nobody really cared about the game anymore.
Yeah,
it was all about Sonny just getting that golden boot. And he said, Lucas was saying to him, trust me, Sonny, I'm going to keep laying it on a plate for you. I'm going to keep laying it on a plate. Højbjerg was saying behind him, come on, Sonny, you got this, you can do it. Conte on the sidelines was saying, come on, Sonny, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this. And he was just talking about everyone was just in full support of just him getting that golden boot.
And he should have had more than 3, to be honest. But yeah, look, his 2 finishes were clinical, Sonny, as ever. The first one, lovely layout from Lucas, and he just had to slot it home and a confident finish into the corner. Then obviously his second goal was just trademark Sonny. Cuts in from the left into the far corner. He can do that in his sleep, Sonny. How many times have we seen him do that on that side of the box?
You trust him more in that situation than on a one-on-one.
Yeah,
situation.
Honestly, you just know he can fire in the corner 9 times out of 10. He's gonna burst the net.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, mate. He is finishing from that position outside the box. That whip he gets into the far corner is second to none. I don't think a player in Europe can match him right now with that finish.
And when we're like 3-0 up away at Norwich and the game's pretty much done, and he's scoring those goals, you just saw how much it meant to him, didn't you? And how much it meant to the fans as well.
Yeah.
Because it went wild. The place went berserk. You saw Sonny went absolutely berserk as well. And it's just a shame. It puts a little dampener that Salah scored right at the end. But at the end of the day, they share the golden boot. And Sonny had enough chances to win it outright yesterday.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think he has a tiny bit of regret he didn't finish more of those chances?
I do. A tiny bit, but I don't think it matters that much.
He has the golden boot.
It doesn't matter that much. He holds up the trophy. Great personal accolade for him. Look, I think it puts a tiny bit of a dampener on it, but I don't think he'll matter.
And think back as well. Just what an absolute legend Sonny is, like, for Tottenham right now. Like, when you couldn't have imagined that in 2015 when we signed him, this guy was going to be a Premier League Golden Boot winner. That is an incredible achievement.
He's like our 5th or 6th top goal scorer now, or something like that.
Yeah, he must be getting high up in the ranks.
He's up there. You've got to say he's probably the best Asian footballer to grace this in these lands, you know what I mean, in England.
No, for sure.
I mean, the closest comes to him probably Ji-sung Park.
Yeah, and I think he's much better than Ji-sung Park.
Much better, yeah. So
one of the best Asian players of all time, you have to say.
No penalties as well.
Yeah, exactly. So Salah had 5 penalties in that 23 goals, and Son didn't have any. If Son was taking our penalties, he could end up on nearly 30, probably, wouldn't he? Yeah. Look, but I just think what an incredible achievement to be Golden Boot winner for Heung-min Son. And he's been so consistent over the last pretty much since his first season. He's been very, very consistent, and he's been getting better and better. And you think of a player like Son, who relies so much on sharpness and pace and things like that. You would have thought, once he starts getting into his late 20s, is he going to start slowing down? Is he is his peak younger? Someone like Aaron Lennon, who peaked quite young, and then, once he hit his late 20s, was never the same player. But Son seems to be getting better with age. Every year seems to be adding more to his game, seems to be improving. And hopefully, he goes from strength to strength and he improves even more as a player. And I think we've got one of the deadliest forwards in Europe right now in Heung-min Son. And now, I think he's rightly, everyone was... there was always discussions who's more important, who's better, Kane and Son. First of all, I don't think those discussions are needed. And second of all, I think Son rightly now is level importance and quality with Kane right now.
What a front three we have. I mean, you talk about Sonny being one of the most feared forwards in Europe. You got to say we have to have one of the most feared front threes in Europe. You got to say that. Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in world football, if not the best. He's up there with the likes of Benzema and Lewandowski and people like that. And you got Kulusevski, a young up and coming player who's absolutely brilliant, and he's well beyond his years. Kulusevski, well beyond his years, and he looks like such a mature player for the age that he is. I mean, this front three is absolutely dynamite, and I can't wait for them to have a pre-season together, gel together. A few other players to help them out as well. I mean, it's exciting times.
I can't wait. And I think Kane and Son, they outscored every player in the Premier League since Conte took over. No one scored more than them. Yeah. In fact, apparently I read as well that if you just took Son's goals just from since Conte took over, that beats any other season he's had overall. So how
many has he got since Conte's come in? About 17? 19.
19 since Conte took over.
and Kane has got, 17 since he's
he got 16.
16 since
Conte took over. And 8 assists as well.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That partnership is just electric. Unbelievable that they got over the line. I think those three. No, surely no one scored more than those three since January, since Kulusevski's come. I can't think. Surely not. So it's been an unbelievable achievement. And then obviously the back line. I think the back line deserves so much credit. The forward line obviously gets loads of credit because it's been banging the goals. But look, 5 goals conceded in the last 11 games. 16 clean sheets now. For the season. Sanchez coming in for the last 3 games and keeping 3 clean sheets when, Romero was getting loads of praise and he was playing really well, and would have been difficult for him to come in that scenario and shoulder that burden that Romero had in the team. But Dyer was leading the way come the end. Davis, Sanchez were brilliant at the back. Emerson's come a long way in the last few weeks. Sessegnon as well has been brilliant. And Lloris, I think, has had, you could argue, one of his best seasons in a Tottenham shirt.
No, I completely agree. And I want to go back to your point on Ryan Sessegnon, because I really think Ryan Sessegnon in the last couple of weeks is really coming of age now. I think he's playing his best football in a Spurs shirt. You're really seeing him get to grips with the Antonio Conte system as well. Defensively, really good. Going forward as well, he's always creating an option for us. So I'm loving Ryan Sessegnon at the moment. And I agree with Antonio Conte when he said there's a special player in there. And I think Antonio is going to unearth that. And I think he's starting to already. Yeah,
and his final ball is a decision making in the final third is really definitely improving. Defensively, I think he's been pretty good for a lot of the season defensively. You know, he's come up against the best wingers and come out on top in a lot of cases. So he's been brilliant. And I think Emerson last 2 weeks have got to give him credit. I just think Conte's really shored up our back line, and that's been. And just remember the days under. The late days under Poch, under Mourinho, even though under Mourinho we had some good defensive performances, we haven't seen defensive consistency like this for a very long time. And we look so difficult to score against now. Even in the games where we were struggling, we were always very defensively solid and we always look very difficult to score against. And that's all down to Antonio Conte. And he's got imagine a year ago we're talking about Davis and Dyer being one of the first names in a very solid backline, under Antonio Conte, especially Ben Davis, who has come on leaps and bounds since Conte's come in. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so proud of Dyer as well for how they've stepped up and performed. And massive credit to the backline and to Conte for shoring up the defence. I think the defence is a big part of why we're in top four now and why we've got that Champions League spot.
Yeah, and if you cast your mind back to March, maybe February, March time, I think it was, maybe even the beginning stages of April, when it was just win, draw, win, loss, win, loss. It's the consistency in the last 10 games that has really got us to the fore here in this Champions League. I mean, how consistent have we been the last 10, 11 games? I think we've won like 8 of them or something, 7 or 8 of them, and drawn 1 and lost 1 or whatever it may be, around those figures. And when you look at it compared to like Arsenal, they've just gone the complete other way, haven't they?
Yeah.
And that's what's got us there. It's the consistency, it's the know-how from Conte, and it's the experienced players that have really pushed us through now in this top 4 race. And we have to back him, man. We have to back him.
Yeah, that's the main look. We've been hearing a lot of words now coming out from journalists and the club and from the players saying they expect Conte to be backed. The players are saying Conte knows exactly who he wants and what he needs. Eric Dyer is saying everyone's loving playing under Conte, and everyone feels like we're in a very critical moment as a club. I don't think we haven't been in such a strong position for a long time.
Probably since the Champions League final.
Yeah, probably since then. And even then, it was a bit different, because then we were coming, as much as we were attractive and got a Champions League final, we finished top 4. We were coming to a different spiral, a different era as a club, and we needed a refresh. But now we're in a different space under Conte. Now it's just the start of his era, and we're in a very, very strong position in all aspects. We've been in the stadium now for a full season. All these different elements coming into it. So I think we're in a very, very strong position this summer, and we just have to make sure that we give Conte everything he needs to compete. Because if he has that, then there's no doubt about it, we're going to be competing next season. And it's very, very exciting right now to be a Tottenham fan. You wouldn't have thought it back in November that it was going to be very exciting, but it is. Yeah. And I think I'm just hoping we don't mess it up again, because we've been in similar positions where we've messed it up and we haven't done things right. But I'm hoping it's different this time. And the noises are it is.
I think this is the strongest position in the Premier League this club has been in. I think maybe back then when we had prime Poch and stuff like that, we weren't competing with as good teams as maybe Liverpool and Man City. Those teams were still going through their refresh and rebuilds and coming up. But with the money that we've got available now, with the new stadium, with Antonio Conte at the helm, I really think this could be the start of something really special at Tottenham now. I genuinely believe it. And like I said before, Antonio is showing now that he can get results against the best teams in England 2 draws against
consistent
Liverpool
basis,
this season, 2 wins against Man City this season. Yes, fine, one of them was under Nuno, but he went to the Etihad and he won, and rightly so. It's like these games aren't even lucky wins, you know. They're well-deserved victories and draws, where even in the draws we deserve to probably win both those games. So if he gets back this this summer, that is going to shore us up against the teams that maybe we have been dropping points up against this season. And hopefully we can keep up that good work against the bigger teams. And that will put us in very, very good stead next season. And if that happens, I mean, if we get back, I'm looking at no less than 3rd for next season. No less than 3rd.
There's no reason why we shouldn't be competing for that. As you know, we don't know what the situation Chelsea are going to be in next season. But if they're not in a strong position, there's no reason why we can't compete for 3rd and compete for trophies that Conte's, you know, competed for you know, throughout his career. He has got a good record in the domestic cups, other clubs. So, I mean, there's so much to look forward to now. There's so much to think about during the summer, and let's just hope that the hierarchy has learned lessons from the past, and hopefully Paratici helps with that as well. And they've got a lot of work to do, but it can be done. And are hoping this club are heading in the direction we all hoped they would be, you know, for all these years ago. And you got to say, you know, they did bite the bullet. They appointed Conte, the hierarchy, in November, as much as it was probably a few months too late, but they did it just enough in time to get top 4.
Just about, yeah.
Just about, but they did it. They did. Well, look, at the end of the day, we did get top 4. So they did, you know, probably any more, if they waited any longer, we wouldn't have, I think. So, and I have to say, they did the right thing. And I'm not going to start, unless things are going wrong, I'm not going to start saying I want these out and them out. And I'm just going to say, as I said, when Conte got appointed, I like that appointment. I'm happy with that move. And I'm not going to criticise them for doing the right thing.
It's a start.
And as long as I keep doing that, that's the thing, yeah.
It's a start. And look, at the end of the day, we've had massive says on the board and ENIC, and we've been very vocal in our opinions of Daniel Levy and ENIC and what they've done to this club over the last couple of years. But as much as you lay into someone, you have to give credit where it's due. And right now, I think credit is due for bringing in Antonio Conte, and credit will be massively due if he gets back this summer. But that's a big question mark still.
Of course it is.
So I want to see what happens this summer before I reserve any judgment right there. But I think if it goes the way that I want it to go and he does get backed and Spurs are on to bigger and better things, I'm willing to put that all aside. I really am.
Yeah, 100%. Because I can't, if we want Tottenham to start acting like a club that can compete with the best and win trophies and stuff like that, then appointing Antonio Conte and giving him what he needs to compete is exactly what that looks like. And I can't start, you know, spitting my dummy out just because they've done wrong things in the past. It's all about learning from those things and moving on. And I'm willing to I'm not saying forget, but I'm willing to move past their past discrepancies if they get this right, and that's for sure. And hopefully they will.
It's got to be a consistent thing. It can't just be this summer and that's it. You know, it's got to be a consistent acting like a big club all the time now. It can't just be look like one summer off. We've got Conte. If we don't back him, he's going to leave. It needs to be this every single transfer window. I'm not saying spend 300 million every transfer window, but act like a big club. Make those key additions that you need to make every year. That's what it needs to be now.
And let's hope they do it, and let's hope they hear it. And I'm sure they don't need hearing it from us, because I'm sure they're getting it from Conte. That's for sure. And yeah, look, and in terms of so obviously we've got top 4. We've got the Golden Boot. So brilliant end to the season. Champions League football coming back to White Hart Lane. I can't wait for that Champions League music. Arsenal back in Europa League.
What, that Champions League music? Did you say Champions League music?
Can't wait for that Champions League. It's going to be incredible. And I think from an Arsenal perspective, you got to say, they absolutely bottled it at the end.
They shut the bed.
They completely shut the bed. We pipped them at the post, and I think we showed our experience. We said during the season that in the run-in, we have players who have been there and done it. As much as people call us bottlers and all these kind of things, Kane and Son and Dyer and Davis and Bentancur and Kulusevski and Lloris have all been part of teams that consistently play Champions League football and consistently know what it takes to get over the line, to get into the top 4 and all these things. So we have the players with the experience there. So I expected calmer heads from our side than theirs. And it's mad, the narrative surrounding Mikel Arteta. I think it's crazy. how much leeway everyone's giving him for the job he's done at Arsenal. I think it's crazy. You think about it, he took over a team that finished fifth and got to a Europa League final. That's the team he took over, right? And then he's gone on to finish eighth. Then eighth again with that, and then knocked out of Europe. No European football. Gone into a
team that finished fifth, by the way, we're very close to the Champions League.
Yeah, they're 1 point off.
That's what I'm saying. So it was a Aubameyang penalty miss away from Champions League qualification.
He then got them to eighth. He then got them to another eighth with no European football. So he got them knocked. He had a Europa League team, then got them knocked out Europa, and then after a season with 1 game a week, good for most of the season had little injury problems and stuff like that. They've finished fifth and back in Europa League, and that's seen as overachievement because he's taken them back into Europa from where he took over them from.
Yeah.
How is that overachievement? That's where he took over from. That's crazy. I don't
know why he gets so much leeway. If he does this job at any other top side, he would have been gone a long time ago.
Oh, not even just this job. I don't think any other manager except Arteta gets that leeway.
Yeah.
What other manager apart from Arteta? Even at Arsenal, I don't think any other manager except
Emery got sacked for less.
For much less. He got fifth.
Yeah.
Emery got sacked because he was in eighth, not finishing eighth.
Just be a bit quiet. Let them keep making these decisions. Let them keep making these decisions. At the end of the day, Arteta was speaking before the game, day before the game, and he was like, we should be so proud. No club has ever done this with such a young squad. Excuse me, did you not see the 15-16 season last season at White Hart Lane? Average age was exactly the same, and we were in a title challenge, never mind scraping for top 4.
Exactly. So
what are you chatting about, Mikel Arteta? You don't know what you're talking about.
He's a walking contradiction. A week ago, he was asked at his press conference, "Would you be celebrate even though if you don't get top 4, would you still celebrate? Europa League and being fifth place?" He was like, "No, we only want Champions League." This was when it was still in their hands. He was like, "We only want Champions League, and there's nothing to celebrate except for if we get top 4. That's the main thing." And then after they lose to Newcastle, he's like, we're going to look back at the season and think we overachieved and we did a lot. We did a lot this season. I think actually no one expected us to do that. I'm like, oh my God, this guy, the contradictions.
Exactly. He knows exactly what you need.
I think Arsenal fans confuse what rival fans expect of them and what they should expect of themselves. You know what I mean? At the beginning of the season, in Arteta's third season, you know what I mean? When he's had all that money to spend, if you're Arsenal Football Club, when you've given a manager 3 seasons, you have to expect a top 4 challenge.
Well,
you have to expect that. You know what I mean?
How long is this process supposed to be?
You have to expect any manager at Tottenham, if they've been there for 3 seasons, they're not challenging for top 4 by then goodbye. You know what I mean?
In the second season for top 4, it's probably goodbye.
Exactly. So I don't know what they expect. We will never expect it to be. Yeah, we as rival fans will take the piss out of you. That's one thing. But you as an Arsenal fan should expect that of your club. Yeah. And so this whole narrative that fifth is some massive overachievement because they finished 8th last season, give over. It's absolute nonsense. Honestly, they finished 5th. They bottled top 4. They're going to have European football next season. They're going to have two games a week. It's going to be much harder next. I think they're deluded to think that this progression means it's going to be easier to challenge for top 4 next season. It's going to be 10 times harder for them to challenge.
10 times harder next season. 10 times harder next season.
They need 2 strikers to come in because they're getting rid of Nketiah, Lacazette, and they got rid of Aubameyang. They're in trouble, Arsenal. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't think he lasts the season next season.
I've already said that.
I
said that as soon as they got battered to us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I said a bad start for Arsenal next season. He's gone by November.
If it's that bad, like they're completely out of the top 4 race, I think he's gone. Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that. I think he's in trouble.
Cast your mind back to when we did the videos with Lee and Bavs and stuff like that. They were saying, "Oh, how can you say that Spurs have a bigger future than Arsenal? How can you say that?" Well, it looks pretty evident right now who has the better future. They were saying, "Oh, how can you put Kulusevski over Saka?" Saka hasn't turned up since then, and Kulusevski is probably one of the brightest prospects in the Premier League. Not shitting on Saka, by the way, because I think he's a very good player. Just I think Kulusevski's better than him. And everything that they were saying and we were arguing about.
Yeah, we've said we were a better team.
Has aged very, very well.
For us.
Yes, for us.
We were arguing who's got a better team right now, and Babs are 4 points ahead, 4 points ahead. How can you say we're 4 points ahead? Well, we stuck to our guns. I know you're 4 points ahead, but we're a better team. I know that, and I've seen it on the pitch from what I see. And we've got a better manager, got better players, we're the better team, and so it's proved over the last few games of the season. And now all of a sudden they're saying, "Oh yeah, we were never expecting. Oh yeah, you know, in Nketiah we had all these players. We were never expecting top four. Well, what happened to you being a better team? What happened?"
I love it when all these Arsenal fans, like when they were above us, they were like, "Oh, the table doesn't lie. The table doesn't lie. Oh, does the table lie now? Does it? Oh, okay then. Oh, all right."
It's brilliant. I think it's brilliant, the U-turn that they've turned about, oh, we're so good, Arteta project. Now it's like, oh, we were never expecting this. We weren't expecting that.
Super Mick Arteta.
You just enjoy the whoa. You enjoy that.
We'll enjoy this. The Champions League music. The champions.
Oh, man. I can't wait for next season now.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next season. It's going to be brilliant.
It really is. And yeah, that is our review. I mean, it kind of drifted off into a bit of a Spurs and Arsenal thing, but absolute sensational scenes at Carrow Road yesterday. I mean,
before we move on, just want to say as well if you saw Ben yesterday in the vlog, he was sporting that lovely Heung-min Son t-shirt.
Yeah.
If you want to get your hands on one of them, the link is pinned to the chat right now.
Also in the description, yeah.
And in the description, get yourself a Heung-min Son shirt and an Italian job shirt if you want to appreciate it, because Conte's going to be here, mate. Conte's staying. He's here with Paratici. So get yourselves one of these t-shirts. They're great stuff.
Since the Golden Boot goal yesterday, pretty much these Son t-shirts have been flying off the shelves.
Yeah,
so,
running out of them.
Get them while you can, my friends. Get them while you can. I was wearing it, obviously, in the vlog yesterday, and a few people in the comments are saying, where can I get one? A few people in the stadium were saying, brilliant t-shirt, mate. So yeah, get yourself some of those t-shirts and celebrate Son's Golden Boot and celebrate the Italian era going down at Spurs at the moment with Don Paratici and Don Conte as well. So everyone, thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching our match review today.